Can you start this episode with like a poorly done Doctor Who theme on a piano?
No, I'm going to do it with an awesomely done Doctor Who theme on the piano. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, whatever.
Okay,
Whatever.
for you, I will do a ragtime version
Okay,
of the Doctor Who theme.
great. Excellent.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I have no idea how I'm going to do
You've
that.
committed to that now. You'll spend the next 12 hours trying to figure that out.
Welcome, everybody, to the extra secret special Doctor Who Christmas special episode.
That we told everyone about in the last episode.
Exactly. So, Alex, we've been away for several weeks. How is your holiday season going?
Great. I'm in the Bahamas right now,
Oh, jeez.
on the beach,
What is wrong with you?
enjoying the sun and the sand and the surf.
I am in Wisconsin, bitterly cold, by the fire, in the winter. It's Christmas, Alex. What's wrong with you?
I like to be warm.
It's
And-
it's like the one time where snow's like totally okay.
Yeah, I know, but it's also the one time where all of my family doesn't have school,
Mm.
and the best time to go on vacation.
So, Alex, this season of Doctor Who, best season ever or best possible season ever?
What do you mean by best possible season ever? I mean,
Is it the best season or is it the best season that is imaginable?
it's not the best season that's imaginable. No, not at all. I mean,
Okay.
I can imagine a season with 12 doctors and 12 different TARDISes just running around all at the same time, and that would be awesome.
That sounds like a terrible, terrible season.
It sounds like a great season.
No, it really, really doesn't.
Can you imagine like that one scene at the end of the 50th anniversary, but an entire season of that? I would die. It would be great.
I feel like it would be very cool for a few minutes. And yeah.
Ah,
Actually, what would be really cool is if they did that, but it was not, it was the 12 next Doctors. Right? Right? Wouldn't that be really cool?
then they'd have to skip 12 because they'd put them all in one season and then they'd all just retire.
No. See, this is something I really wish that more like it's something that Boyhood played with, but I wish there was more stuff like this where basically you were able to set up characters like years and years and years in advance of actually using them. Not in a retcon sort of way, because they did that with sort of with Capaldi, but not in a pro con. A ret pro. There we go. A ret pro sort of way.
Yeah. Well, they even did that with Capaldi. They put him in the 50th anniversary special.
Right.
Even
But
before
they already knew at the time. I would love to have I would love for the new Star Wars to come out and then they discover which probably who knows, maybe it has by the time this is going live, I don't know. But for us to discover that like there was some random character that they already had planned to be like a major character in these sequels that shows up that was in A New Hope. And not in the sense that they're like, let's find an extra from A New Hope, but in the sense like they wrote it, they knew at the time
Well,
this character.
That would have to mean listening to George Lucas, and I'm not sure that's going to work out well
okay.
for anyone.
That is fair.
Like, he very well may have had this idea that this back character is going to become super important. Not really sure that'll probably be the best plot line to follow.
That's true.
Okay. We should probably talk about Doctor Who.
Well, but Star Wars, man. What did you think of the new Star Wars?
I will have thought it was great.
Okay.
I don't know. See me on Twitter at Alex Bragdon for updates on Star Wars.
Oh man, you're pimping out Twitters now. Got all social media famous on me.
So, Kevin, you have literally 10 times as many followers as I do.
Then don't you forget it.
More than I think. I don't know. No, I don't think it was the best possible season of Doctor Who.
But
Definitely
best
the-
season of Doctor Who.
Since 2010, absolutely.
When did New Who start?
So, 2005.
Right, so you meant 2005.
See, Yes, almost. Almost. I'm in love with Matt Smith's first. I'm in love with Matt first. I can't say it.
That's because it's wrong.
I'm smitten. I'm in love with Matt Smith's first season. I really like that 2010 season.
I am very much the opposite of you on that. I don't know. I think I appreciate the production value is a good thing. I didn't like it. It felt really weird. I didn't like the color grading. I didn't like the. It's a dumb thing,
funny.
but like the color grading really, really bothered me. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna be like fancy, like short film indie Doctor Who." I'm like, come on.
I don't know. Also, season 4 was really good.
You've got to tell me which seasons.
Okay, so season 5 was my previous favorite season, and probably still is.
Can we refer to these in like companion or like notable episode seasons? Because I'm not good with numbers.
Okay, so season 5.
You know me. I'm terrible with numbers.
Okay, so the first season with Amy Pond,
right?
And the season with Donna.
Okay.
So season 4 and season 5. So season with Donna, then season with Amy Pond. First season with Amy Pond. Those were my 2 favorite seasons.
I was not a fan of the Ponds.
No. But 6 and 7 were terrible. I really didn't like season 6 and 7.
Okay.
The best part about season 6 and 7 for me was probably the opening 2-parter in Possible Astronaut Day of the Moon, which is when they hijacked Apollo 11.
Right. I mean, Alex Kingston, sure. Like, totally, yes. Like, saved the show.
No, yeah. I mean, I meant those 2 episodes. And then after those first 2 episodes in season 6 just went kind of all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously it has some high spots, but I think the overarching plot of that season was pretty bad. Same with 7. 7 really didn't have that great of an overarching plot. It was Trenzalore and setting up the death of the 11th Doctor.
I mean, it was really just a whole season that was leading up to the anniversary, I think.
Well, no, it wasn't leading. The season didn't lead up to the War Doctor. The War Doctor was just kind of inserted for the 50th anniversary at the last minute. And then it went right back to, Trenzalore. Like,
wow, yeah.
So the 50th anniversary really didn't have much to do with it. It was just kind of leading up to Matt Smith's regeneration.
I will definitely agree with you, though, that the Donna season is on par with this one. I shouldn't say that this is the best season ever. I will say that the penultimate episode of the season is the best episode.
Yes, I will absolutely give you that.
By a fairly large margin.
Yeah. It's
with Blink being up there, but still not close.
Yeah. It is something special. It's really good. I don't really know what else to say about it other than it's really good.
It is just I love. I don't know. I am curious to see like what everybody thinks about that episode, just because like it's the perfect. It plays to things that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I really love very small cast. Like I love puzzle games. I love small cast episodes of things. I love just like waiting for Godot type stuff. Everything about that episode was amazing. And also Peter Capaldi is just so freaking amazing in everything he does that it makes me angry.
Why did you make you angry? Make you happy that you get to enjoy it.
It makes me Malcolm Tucker level angry.
Okay, fine, whatever. Be the jealous sort, Kevin.
I'm very much the jealous sort.
You're not that short. You're not jealous and short.
I'm the jealous short.
And it really was just like a one-person cast. You had like this thing which didn't have any lines that was following him around.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Well, and even then, it didn't occupy much screen time. It was more of a device than anything else.
Yeah. It really wasn't that much of a character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess there was that kid on Gallifrey at the end that the Doctor talked to, but...
Yeah. So what I really wanted to do, and I mentioned this to you on Twitter, but I really wanted to take like the first 40 minutes of that episode and just stitch them together and put it up on YouTube as like a 10-hour repeating.
I mean, you could start a new Gmail account and like totally isolate it from everything else.
Oh man, it'd be down in a heartbeat, but it'd be fun.
Yeah. I mean, you could put it up on like some other site that doesn't care about copyright, but then that's kind of boring.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to remember what was the start of this season. What happened in that episode? Oh yeah,
The two-parters with Missy. That was great.
Right.
I loved that.
I did not. So that is the one complaint that I would have about this season, is that I feel like there was an awful lot, and this is the beginning of this season and the end of the season in particular, where it was, if you haven't watched the old series of Doctor Who, you're getting about half of the episode. Now, I'm sure, like, you have a different experience because you've actually seen all the previous stuff. And so I'm not talking about, I can't estimate whether half is correct. I'm just saying, from the perspective of someone who hasn't yet watched all of the old stuff, it felt like it was very clear that there was stuff that I was supposed to know and was missing. Which was frustrating from someone who considers myself to be a fan of the show.
Not really. Like the confession, like a lot of the stuff that they made up about Gallifrey. Like I assume you're speaking of the confession dial that kind of showed up at the beginning of the first season.
The confession dial, the Davros stuff, interchange stuff, the president of Gallifrey. That whole thing. I was like, there's obviously supposed to be something here. There's supposed to be like, this is supposed to be very meaningful and but I have no way of knowing any of that, so thanks for playing. I don't count.
So here's an interesting thing. I had always assumed when Gallifrey came back that the Doctor would again be the president of Gallifrey, because this isn't the first time that he's been the president of Gallifrey. Rassilon apparently came back sometime during the Time War.
Okay.
Because the last time we saw Gallifrey, the Doctor was like the president of it.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird that he came back and then kicked Rassilon out again and said, "No, I'm president."
See, that was the thing, is that, like, for me, I'm sitting there and I was like, my only experience with Rassilon is, yeah, he was being really dumb that last time
at the end of season 4.
At the end of in the Donna episode. And like, why is anybody still following him? Of course they're going to kick him out, obviously. Like, and like, you could tell though from the way it was staged, it was like, okay, no, this is supposed to be like some big, whoa, confrontation, big thing for the Gallifreyans. But yeah, I can't pick up on any that I don't know. I mean, it's not to say that it's even if there isn't anything to get, just that was the impression that I took away from it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not unique in not having watched the old series.
Yeah.
And so it's probably the case that the season kind of skewed a lot more toward, in a direction that maybe isolated a fair amount of the fan base.
Yeah, and I think that may be part of the reason why I didn't get the finale that I wanted. Had I gotten the finale that I wanted, this could very well have been my favorite season. Mm-hmm. But about 15 minutes into the finale, the Doctor had like taken back the presidency from Rassilon and was like, "I'm Lord of Gallifrey now." And then it was like, "Now I need to save Clara." And the rest of the episode was just about Clara. And I went,
You didn't groan at the very opening of the episode?
Well, no, that was fine. Like, I thought, like, maybe he was... Here's what I thought. When the episode first opened, remember how Clara was, like, at all points in his time stream at one point and broke off and shattered?
Yeah.
I assumed he just went and found another version of her and was just talking to her and explaining, like, how he brought the Time Lords back, or how he and the Time Lords did all this cool stuff, or... Like, he was going to tell her some cool story about the Time Lords, and no, he was actually in a big trap, and the Time Lords really were just pawns in this stupid thing he was doing that had stupidness.
Yes.
It was a great episode. Like, it's ignoring my hype and, like, desires for what that episode I wanted it to be. It was a really good episode.
Here's a thing. Here's an example of the exact type of, like, premeditated throwback that I want to have happen. I would like to go back and watch the Impossible Astronaut and discover that Clara was the waitress. Like, that would be really, really cool, right?
So
it was just like premeditated, like a character just inserted, never mentioned, never alluded to, and it's just built in there as an Easter egg to gestate for years and years and years.
So, did you know that Amy Pond was actually at Pompeii?
No, I
Karen Gillan's first role on Doctor Who was in the Fires of Pompeii, along with Peter Capaldi. Yes.
No, I missed that.
And let's see, Martha's actor.
Oh yeah,
her first role was
as a unit operative. Yeah, or as a Torchwood operative.
Yeah, she was working as a because they actually mentioned her cousin.
Right,
like my cousin who was at
my cousin. Yeah. No, but I mean like the character, not just like the actor happened to be there. Like I want that to be like an Easter egg that was just planted for a long time. But no, I was I don't know. I just Moffat and Death have like oil and water.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Like that didn't surprise me. I didn't know how he was going to get around it. I thought he was just going to find another version of Clara because he's killed off other versions of Clara before. That's been fine in his book. Like there's at least like 2 dead versions of Clara, like one on a Dalek spaceship thing,
right,
and another back in the 1800s. So he's killed other versions. I was just expecting him to go find another.
The thing though is that I feel like this entire season has gone with part of this is just the 2-parter episode thing, but they do this whole look, everybody's dead, and then the next episode, just kidding. Which is frustrating to a point. And then I said to myself, you know what he's doing? He's self-aware. He knows that people know he can't kill off characters. He's setting this up as a pattern so that it hits even harder, so that we're all expecting him to just backtrack on this Clara thing.
Nope.
And then he won't, and it will just sink on us like a ton of bricks, and I will stand up and applaud at the cleverness of how that was done. And he did, and he forgot.
He forgot.
He had this great, he had set up the rhythm, and he just forgot the punchline of the story.
Yeah, but up into the last 5 minutes, I was totally with you. And then he just went crazy, and it was great.
What?
Just before they did the whole memory wipe thing, I was totally expecting Clara to have to go back to the Time Lords would show up, or the Doctor would finally realize that he needs to just send her back, or the universe will collapse, right?
Mm.
I was totally expecting that to be the realization, and then the whole memory wipe thing came along, and then she got her own TARDIS, and me and her went off into the future past with a diner.
So many things to unpack here. One, that whole thing felt ridiculous. I have to memory wipe you. I have to memory wipe you. No, of course I wouldn't do that. Okay, why don't we both maybe do it? What? In what universe does that make sense for either character?
Oh, it makes sense for the Doctor to do it.
Also, it also felt like she was bluffing. It was presented as though she was bluffing.
Yeah, I did pick up on that. But she did do something with the glasses before she handed it over.
But that was to deactivate the monitor. Like, they set it up in a very weird way. That was just a weird camera angle storyline thing. But
yeah, just
the idea that why would Clara want the Doctor's memory wiped? It doesn't make sense. She wouldn't want either. Just the whole idea that they both agreed to that was just very, very weird. And then I think if she's part of the thing is that her whole death was supposed to be her taking charge and making a decision, and now they kind of cheapen that by giving her a big out.
Yeah, but that's exactly what the Doctor does all the time. That's literally the Doctor's modus operandi. I'm going to take responsibility. Oh, look, here's a way out. Let's just escape.
Yeah.
That's totally why they did that. It's because that's literally what the Doctor does every episode.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt weird. Also, just the me and the hybrid thing, it bothered me.
Yeah, the hybrid. See, and that's why can't put this. Yeah, the hybrid thing is why I can't put this episode at the definitive top.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole hybrid thing just seemed like a big plot to get him to Gallifrey.
Right.
And then once he was there, they mostly just forgot about it.
It's not really maybe it's a metaphor. Maybe it's like 7 different metaphors. All right, moving on. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, we trapped you for billions of years to figure out what this was, but it's not really that important. It's probably just a metaphor for something. Like,
yeah. So, but I mean,
and just the whole like naming me, the character me, like for that entire purpose, for just the comedy of errors, ambiguity. I'm like, really? Don't stop.
Yeah, but it was the whole hybrid, the whole me things were interesting, and certainly the hybrid knowledge thing set up the really good episode of, Heaven Sent, which wouldn't have worked unless the Doctor knew something, but they could have literally had him know about anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is that it didn't need to be. In fact, it came sort of out of left field in that episode.
Yeah.
That is just, he's going through these confessions. There are plenty of things for him not to confess. Like, I don't know, his name, for one.
Well, the name was just supposed to be a signal. Right.
Well, right, but it could also just be, if it could also just be the thing that he happens to not be willing to answer in that episode.
Yeah.
Like, there are any number of things that the Doctor would just be like, nope, not going to say.
I mean, I was kind of happy with how they set it up at in the Night of the Doctor, the one where the 11th Doctor regenerates on Trenzalore, because the way they propositioned that was that, like, Gallifrey is all set to come back. They have the ability, but they just need to know when it's safe, right? And so the Doctor is supposed to go to the crack in the wall and whisper his name, which will alert the Gallifreyans that, oh, everything's all right, we can come through.
Right.
But he didn't, and so they just literally came through at the end of the universe. They're
right.
Like, we can't wait any longer. The universe is gone. We have to come through now.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty clever, if that was actually intentional, which I think maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think about the found footage episode?
Oh, that was awful.
Really?
I did not like that.
I liked it. I know I'm not supposed to have liked it.
No, I mean, you're supposed to like whatever you like. I thought it was... The Doctor said it best. It didn't make any sense.
I really loved that it was structured in a way that was completely different. I love that it was structured that basically it was a Dr. Light episode, but without being Dr. Light. Like, it fit the whole Blink / Doctor Who vloggers style of style of episode. And I don't know, like, I know the found footage thing is overdone, but I think it can be done well. There's a good found footage movie about Europa.
Yes, that I've heard of that.
Really, really liked, and I recommend you watch that. I think you'd enjoy it. It's very, very good. And this reminded me a lot of that. And I like the premise of, oh, the dust in your eyes is a monster. Like, yeah, that's okay. We talked in the last episode about pseudoscience and the threshold for that. This is one that rubs me the wrong way.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Like, that's over the line for me.
Yeah. Like, that would just be biologically occurring, absolutely.
Right.
You could construct nanites that would act that way, sure. But,
right, sure. Yeah. Like, if you hand wave stuff away, then I'm perfectly fine, but just don't try and treat something that is ridiculous seriously. Yeah.
Well, I don't think they really did treat it that seriously, to be honest.
Well, no. And certainly at the end of the episode, you went, okay, well, the entirety of this could be nonsense.
Yeah.
There's enough of a device to get rid of a lot of the stuff. It was an interesting episode for me because, and this is really tricky, I think, because I noticed fairly early on that the camera angles didn't always correspond to people in the way that they should. And it pulled me out of the story. Like, I realized there's I think it's Stella Adler in a book about acting, talks about how she was watching this play, and at one point, in the play, a kettle was supposed to boil over, and it did, like right on cue. And at the time, she went, "Wow, that's really amazing. I wonder how they managed to get that set up to boil over at exactly the right time. That's really impressive." And she went, "Wait a second, that's a really terrible, terrible thing." Because now I'm just thinking about the technical aspects of how did they get that to happen in the middle of this thing on stage. That's incredible. Instead of paying attention to the story. Now I'm sucked out of the story and I'm observing it from a technical aspect. So the cool thing about that found footage episode was that they did start to manipulate the camera such that Clara's point of view was being shown, which didn't make sense until the reveal sort of more than halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
And it was a cool device, but it also brought me out of the story at the beginning. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know how you structure that in a way that you can have these kind of cool reveals without it being that sort of thing. Did you notice ahead of time that the cameras were being weird?
I noticed the cameras being weird, but I got lost in they're just really, really weird. I didn't pick up the additional weirdness layered on top of the weirdness. Right? Because it's like presented in mostly like headcam footage and like webcam footage, like security and headcam footage. And in that security and headcam footage, I didn't notice that it was cutting to Clara.
Okay.
Or, no.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I guess maybe it's just something that I caught on to a little early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not super surprised. I usually only use one camera angle. You've had like 7 cameras going at once.
Oh, man. It's a nightmare to edit that sort of footage.
I'm not surprised.
So I believe Doctor Who is always a single cam show. Which is even worse. Oh, yeah, it's a single cam. I mean, maybe it's there. Yeah, there are some shows that are like a hybrid now.
Okay.
Where they'll sometimes take like a close up and a medium at the same time, but man, filming stuff is I can't imagine because we both make videos. I can't imagine trying to just worry about continuity. Between, okay, we've got to do the scene in the wide, now we've got to do the medium, now we've got to do the POV for each of the characters, and it all has to work together.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, that was not my favorite episode.
Would it be fair to say it was your least favorite episode?
Yes, very much, very much. So what was your least favorite episode then of the season?
I'm trying to think. It's probably... I'm trying to think just to make sure that I don't forget.
Well, do you want me to walk through? You had The Magician's Apprentice.
Right. So there's that two-parter. What was the next thing after that two-parter?
The Under the Sea, Beneath the Lake.
Okay. I thought there was a two-parter between those two.
No, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you had the Zygon Invasion, the Zygon Inversion. That's 6. And then... you had Sleep No More, Face the Raven. That's 8.
Oh, wow. So it really is just those
no,
two
wait.
parts.
I am missing one.
Yeah, that's the thing is I feel like you're missing a two-parter in there. I'm going to pull it up.
Oh, no. This can't... What? Where... What? Oh, the... Of course. The girl who lived, the woman who died.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that came after Face Underneath the Lake. So between the Zygon episodes and the Lake episodes.
Yeah, so then the Lake two-parter I think is my least favorite.
Yeah, that wasn't very good. I totally called, like when the Doctor showed up, like he was in the box at the beginning of the episode. If there's possibly a place for the Doctor to hide, it's like Chekhov's gun, only it's the Doctor's box. If there is a box, the Doctor will be in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just started to grate on me at that point. The whole, oh no, look, everybody's dead. Ah.
Well, people did die in that episode. Not everyone came back.
Well, yes.
It's just Clara and the Doctor didn't die.
But it's just, I don't know. I feel like you can have a cliffhanger that doesn't involve threatening the protagonist, especially when we know that you're not threatening the protagonist.
Yeah, you just threatened some third-party character that just showed up.
Right, and that's fine. I was surprised, though, with... I think Maisie Williams was very, very, very mixed for me. Like, that character's arc. I really did not like The Woman Who Lived. I did not like her performance in The Woman Who Lived. It felt very weird.
Really? I was the opposite. I didn't like her first episode, but when she came back and was like much older, like hundreds of that, I thought she had interesting motivations. But I thought she was an interesting character at that point.
Oh yeah, no, I thought she was an interesting character. I just found her performance off-putting in The Woman Who Lived. I think she looks far younger than the character she was portraying, and it just felt very, very weird.
Well, I mean, she looks the age she got frozen at.
No,
right?
no. I know that, but I mean the mannerisms didn't fit the age and wisdom, I guess, of the character that was being portrayed. I don't know. It just felt weird to me.
Okay.
Whereas it made sense in the Viking episode, and she got much better later, I think.
Yeah, she really only showed up once more. Well, twice more, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I felt like in Face of the Raven, her character had the, I don't know, gravitas of someone who'd been around for a very long time.
Well, yeah.
Like I don't want to be mean because I love Maisie Williams. I love Maisie Williams in Game of Thrones a lot.
No, I'm agreeing that she had more gravitas in the later episode, but I'm not wondering if she wasn't supposed to have that gravitas yet, because there was like that event that like clicked. She like had a character change halfway through that episode.
Oh no! Like I get that, but just the whole, like, oh yeah, I'm an excellent. I'm excellent with a bow. I have all these crazy skills. I have a mansion, and I don't know. I don't want to say, like, it felt like it was like she was playing a kid playing dress up.
Well, I almost
came
think she
off
was
that way, but I don't think that's realistic for where that character was. If the character was acting that way, they wouldn't have been in that position. Like, I can understand the whole, like, being a broken character, but, like, the character's still an adult. And so, yeah, it's probably nothing to do with the acting. It's probably just a matter of how they wanted the character played at the time. But it didn't ring true for me.
I can see that. I don't know. I still can't get over, like, Missy. I want more Missy. Not more me. I want more Missy.
Yes.
What do you think? What did you think of the opening two-parter?
It was very mixed for me. The Davros stuff.
There was a lot of.
It didn't play for me.
So as someone who's seen a lot of stuff, and I've seen, I think, every episode with Davros in it, that was a really well done scene. Because they actually managed to convince me that Davros was about to die, and the doctor was actually helping him. Like, and then it was great that it was actually the doctor seeing past like what I was seeing. Like, he was a step ahead of me.
See, that ended I had the same reaction, but I had a different response to it.
Okay.
I interpreted it the same way, but I had a different response. Because to me, like, the whole, like, they're having a very sincere conversation, and then when it's discovered, oh no, we're both, like, having meta conversations upon meta conversations, and none of this is real. It's kind of like, at the end of an episode, it was all a dream. Like, it's just like, oh, well, then this whole thing that it just feels kind of cheap, and I would have much rather either had the doctor's perspective on the thing, or had the doctor been taken in and find some ingenious way out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it just speaks to the relationship why that happened. Like, because they'd been trying to trick each other for like hundreds hundreds of years. And I could see missing that context, how it might affect viewing of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
The other scene it would probably affect, not having seen the episode Genesis of the Daleks, the whole thing with the kid version of Davros, like, that was a foregone conclusion. Like, there was never any mystery about that component, because they literally just copied a moral quandary that they presented to him all the way back in his fourth incarnation, albeit a little bit different. But in fact, the kid version, like, killing the kid would have been worse than what the Doctor already didn't do.
Okay.
So, because way back in the Genesis of the Daleks, the fourth Doctor went to Skaro before Davros invented the Daleks, and like, he rigged the whole place with explosives, and then was like seconds away from touching the wire. And he has this very famous like moral quandary, talking to himself back and forth, and then he like doesn't do it. And so like, if he didn't blow up like the Dalek creation facility back on Skaro when he was there, he's not going to shoot Davros now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think Moffat understands cliffhangers.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was well done. And
yeah, I mean, I think it's weird, because if you had not ever watched the show, and then this was the episode, then sure, that works as a cliffhanger. The thing that's interesting to me is that Moffat is basing this all on the assumption that not only has the viewer seen every episode of New Who, but he's seen all of the episodes of all of the previous series, and yet he's still going to make these cliffhangers that are just, well, that's not really a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I mean,
like, you can have it either way. You can play it for an audience assuming no background, and that's fine, but then you got to take out the whole, like, we're going to build on stuff for previous episodes thing.
I don't know. I still think, like, they've kept the continuity running this long. I think they should be allowed to make callbacks to stuff.
Oh, no. Callbacks are wonderful, and I love Easter eggs, and I love references, and I love that sort of thing, but it's kind of like with Family Guy.
Okay.
They do an awful lot of cutaways that are references to older stuff.
Okay.
All of it is funny, even if you don't get the reference.
Okay, and you're saying, yeah,
like, they do a callback to, they do a cutaway at some point, and I think it's George Bush talking, and then Peter comes up and he says, it's like, oh, is that right? Well, I just happen to have Jesus right here. And Jesus comes up and says, I heard what you were saying. You know nothing of my work. And he's like, wow, if life was like this. Which is a hilarious callback to Annie Hall, which is a Woody Allen film. But it's a very funny gag without having any context of the reference at all. To the point where people get mad now because someone will say, oh, is that from Family Guy? Well, no, it's from a real thing.
Yeah.
But it works. It works
okay.
Entirely self-contained.
Yeah,
and then it's an added thing for the people who get the reference. Okay. Much in the same way that Disney is wonderful for kids, and then there are jokes built in for adults. There's never a point where you go like, here's the scene that kids are just gonna fall asleep during, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. And SpongeBob as well, or the early seasons of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I think they did it pretty well. I guess I'm curious to get your opinion on this. At the end of season 8, which was just the previous season, the first season with Capaldi, Missy showed up and had this Time Lord Matrix hard drive thing. Did you get did that make sense to you? Like, was that something that went over your head? Like,
I did. Yeah, no, that I didn't need that was fine.
Okay. Because I really liked that, because I thought they did a good job of explaining, like, oh, it's a self-contained, like, simulated universe, but it's actually like this huge part of this thing that they revisited again in the Hellbent episode.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think they needed to. Yeah. In at the end of season 8, I never felt at any point in season 8 that, like, okay, there's clearly stuff that I'm missing here.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that I got out of this season that I wish hadn't been the case. I think it's great when you can structure something that has references and callbacks and everything, but that someone who doesn't catch any of those doesn't feel like they're missing out.
So you
like just let it go over my head.
yeah.
You know?
I'm just curious what the complete list is. So you thought Davros, which I think is a very thing. Davros, the confession dial, which was new.
No, the confession dial I was fine
Okay.
with, I think, because they set that up enough. At the Rassilon?
Yeah, Rassilon, the president.
Rassilon. Yeah. That I didn't get it.
Okay, so okay, that's interesting. So your major complaint is then the two characters of Davros and Rassilon.
Well, yeah. Well, and then also there's just the whole. I don't know. The thing is that in the new season, in the new series of Doctor Who, they've always presented Gallifrey as being like the Coruscant of Doctor Who, right?
Oh, the fact that like there's actually
And then
okay.
he's out and he's hanging out with like the peasants who are like they're gonna kill you, and they're like on his side. I'm like, wait, what are the? So there's like a. They're on what? I thought everyone was either united. I don't understand.
No, yeah, Gallifrey is actually like a pretty terrible place to live unless you're some of the 1%.
Right, and that's something that just it didn't play, and so it felt like either that was weird. It felt like either the Doctor's first contact would be, okay, the Gallifreyans are being evil today, so they hate you, or they're super excited to see you. One of those two. But the idea that like there's this whole split, complex thing felt very weird because it felt like Gallifrey was always presented as kind of this single force.
Yeah.
In the previous stuff of this series,
Yep.
and now it's presented as not that, which is fine. I mean, imagine people complexly and all that, but it felt inconsistent with the previous Gallifrey interactions that we'd had.
Well, I mean, if you remember, most of the Gallifrey interactions we've had up to this point were either the Doctor fondly remembering the place he blew up, or B, that one interaction with Rassilon and like the Time Lord High Council, or like the two different times they've interacted with the High Council.
Right.
Other than that, we really haven't seen much of Gallifrey.
Right. No. But it was weird to see that. Oh, okay. So they're
they didn't explain it.
I didn't understand like what is the people that were sort of shielding. I guess were they shielding him? What did they think about him? Or did they see him as? I don't know. They just weren't fleshed out as real characters.
Well, that was an orphanage. That barn was an orphanage. And that's where the Doctor grew up. He was an orphan who got selected for the Time Lord Academy. I believe the Master was also an orphan at that time.
Right.
And so they kind of went to the Academy together. And they might have been previous friends. That's not really been established. So that was the orphan. So we went back to his orphanage and ate soup. I really liked it when they said, "Put down your weapons," and he put down the spoon. That was hilarious.
Right. Yeah.
Let's call back to the Robots of Sherwood in season 8.
Call back to one of the worst Capaldi episodes.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah, no, it was.
It's a good callback to a bad episode.
It was, yes. I laughed. But no, it was just, and I'm sure there's, I guess if I had thought about it, there was more that I could have picked up there, but it was still, even if there are things that I could have picked up references to from the current series, it feels like don't make the thing work even if I forgot, like, because I've gone through and I've watched the new series multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
But there's still I can't be an encyclopedia all the time, and it's frustrating to watch something and feel like, yes, a fair amount of this is over my head.
Yeah, I've seen it many, many times. In fact, if I sat down and wrote it down, if I could draw it out on a piece of paper, I'm pretty sure I could write out the names of all 9 seasons, like every episode, like in order by name. I
might be able to do that if I went in order. It's just the season 4. Wait, which?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can see that. You don't have good random access.
Right, exactly.
Very good sequential time, but terrible random access. Yeah, but I guess going back to Missy, what are your thoughts? You haven't seen anything prior to the new series, so you've seen John Sims' Master in season 3 with the whole end of the world and Martha. And then you didn't see him for a long time, and then she showed back up last season. What are your thoughts on the Master?
I really wish that there had been an opportunity to play with the Master in the Fob Watch Guy actor incarnation. I really liked that character a lot. A lot.
But the character after he looked into the watch or before he looked into the watch?
No, before he looked into the watch. I'm like, I like that actor. I was like,
Okay.
I don't know. I mean the character and the actor. I want to see that guy be evil for a while.
But that was the thing. He wouldn't have been evil. He locked all his evilness inside the watch. So he wouldn't have been evil till he looked in the watch, and then he'd be a different character.
No. There's no reason to have to regenerate.
Oh, okay.
You see, that's the thing. I liked I don't know.
Well, they needed a young guy to play opposite Tennant.
That's why.
Because they thought they did.
Yeah, at the time, they thought, yeah. But Capaldi has proven everybody wrong. Don't need crazy young people for a wonderful show.
But we do need Matt Smith back.
No.
Why not?
You're going to put Matt Smith over Capaldi?
No. Well, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But what?
I was going to say, Capaldi is, I think, very clearly
A better actor, absolutely.
the best Doctor of the new series.
I think when Capaldi regenerates, he should go backwards. He should become William Hartnell again.
I think when Capaldi regenerates, he should regenerate into Capaldi again. And we should just let Capaldi have like a different personality and keep being the Doctor. Because I just,